Hi, I'm Carl Antonisi, and I'd like to read to you from the first chapter of the book I'm writing, which is called The Drawing Man's Heart and the Mind of the Muse. Chapter 1, The Light. In a wintry mountain basin, under a bronze to cobalt sky. The wind blows fiercely, branches sway in the winter gusts. Frozen sparkling crystals not anchored to the bristles of the forest of conifers blow in gales of white powder. They rise up from dancing tree limbs and over the white-covered countryside. A startling caw echoes out through the wind from the beak of a lone crow crying in vain from a perch somewhere. Why wouldn't he have taken shelter? What creature would be attempting anything but hibernation or huddling with his mates in some cozy nook before the storms of the onset of evening? Behind the frozen glass of a window, a warm glow escapes heavy winter curtains. They block most of the view of the interior behind panes, but for a narrow space intentionally left open, to let in a sliver of the outside world, and more importantly, a shaft of its light, to illuminate a room in the southwest corner of the snow-ensconced house. Inside, a middle-aged man sits at a propped-up drawing board on the floor. Before him, a young woman, wrapped in blankets, dozes on a long, cushioned platform, a bed of sorts. She's comfortable in the warmth of an electric heater. Slowly, shadows begin to fall on her and on the furnishings. The artist's eyes squint as they must rely more and more on the electric lamps, candles set round the room, and the orange glow of the heater, for the sun's light is waning from the window. Her spectacle of day appreciated and draining into the night, the shades that will blacken as the hemisphere turns away from her. Outside, tree branches part in a sudden gust. At almost the same time, the curtain moves as the woman shifts, her body pulling her blanket, disturbing them, exposing more of the window, more of its glass, and admitting a final blessing of that raging star's dying light. Triumphantly, in a last parade of photons, from the setting sun's visual emanations, a flash breaks the glowing dim of dusk inside. It emerges from the window, momentarily floods the artist's field of view, and a narrow beam of it reflects off the hanging fish chime in the window box. It traverses space, igniting dust motes, and catches the dreaming young woman's suddenly opened eyes. She's momentarily awakened to adjust her reclining position and her blankets. Then the brilliance vanishes, just as fast as it had shown itself, and she immediately closes her eyes again, resuming her slumbering repose. Beautiful irony are the words that coalesce in the artist's mind. Her name means shining. This all happens in the breath of milliseconds, as the poetic appearance of fledgling and traveling starlight often does, the bright and surprisingly brilliant birth and the virtually instant and subsequent death of the flash of a falling meteor, born in a fiery pulse of drama barely recognized by earthbound sentience. But everyone stops in momentary contemplation after realizing the serendipity of having luckily spied the random and improbable flash of a shooting star. And this flash was seen by the artist in the eye of his muse. So he too pauses, though for an unexpected and strangely very long time indeed. Thank you for listening, and I hope you will enjoy my book. There are 3 chapters presently at thedrawingmansheart.wordpress.com. Stay tuned.